Joining me now is Democratic Senator Chris Coons, a senior member of the Foreign Relations Committee and co-chair of the Harris-Walz campaign. Senator, first, the reporting that you just heard from MJ Lee that the U.S. government has been told by their Israeli counterparts that it is, in fact, Sinwar. What is the impact of this from your perspective?
Well, this is a momentous day. If the leader of the brutal, murderous attack on October 7th by Hamas has in fact been killed, justice has been done. Yahya Sinwar is a bloodthirsty terrorist who has blood on his hands from Americans, from Israelis, from people from dozens of countries who were massacred on October 7th. And it's important for us to take a moment and think about what Sinwar's goal was on October 7th. Why so much blood? Why so many innocent civilians killed? Well, first, because Hamas is an organization committed to the murder of Jews and the destruction of Israel. And it's important to keep that in mind, that their tactics and their approach puts the lives of innocent Palestinians at risk and took the lives of innocent Israelis and people from dozens of other countries on October 7th. But his core goal was to interrupt the path towards reconciliation, the end of the Arab-Israeli conflict. Real progress was being made on Saudi Arabia recognizing Israel and Israel agreeing to a path forward that could achieve regional peace. So as your reporter was just commenting, having him gone, having Sinwar dead, on top of recent military accomplishments by Israel, striking Hezbollah, taking out one of its main leaders, pushing back on Iran's other proxies in the region, may create a moment first for the ceasefire and hostage deal that's been elusive for months. John Kirby recently said that Sinwar was the major impediment. And second, might open an opportunity for getting back to that negotiated regional peace that will ensure Israel's security.
So many questions. The first, Senator, is I realize that you are a United States Senator. You are not a member of the Knesset. But if you got a call from Prime Minister Netanyahu and he said, Senator, what should I do? Would you say, Prime Minister, take the win, declare victory militarily, and move forward on that diplomatic path that they were on before Sinwar and other members of Hamas so brazenly and brutally interrupted with the attack on October 7th?
Yes, and frankly, what I'd be saying is, let's take this moment and see if there is any chance at securing the release of the 100 remaining hostages. It is a core value of the Israeli government, the Israeli people, to leave no stone unturned in trying to free hostages. And second, I'd say let's make sure that we've done everything we can to weaken our opponents and allies and adversaries, and to ensure there is a real path towards long-term security and peace. Ending the Arab-Israeli conflict, having Saudi Arabia recognize Israel, and having the moderate Arab states embrace Israel would be a significant accomplishment for the people of Israel, for the region, and frankly, for the Biden-Harris administration that's been so central to these negotiations.
There are some who believe that the only way to make that deal with Saudi and to sort of open the door to all of the positive developments that you just said that you hope occur is for it to happen while Joe Biden is still president. Do you believe that?
I agree with that.
Why?
I do, because a key piece of this would be the Senate ratifying a security treaty between the United States and the Saudi kingdom. That would be a significant stretch for many in the Senate if it is not also accompanied by a credible path towards future self-governance for the Palestinians. And that is something that will be difficult to accomplish, but that Joe Biden has the credibility to get enough votes in my caucus in the Senate for that to move forward. It is possible, but the amount of time we have left is short. I want to recognize that a bipartisan group of senators that's been led by Lindsey Graham and Ben Cardin has been hard at work on this for a year now. And that leaders in the Biden-Harris administration, their national security leaders, the National Security Advisor, CIA Director, and Secretary of State have been hard at work negotiating it. but it would fundamentally change the region. It would change America's involvement in the region, and it would open up the possibility of a genuine end to the cycle of violence and instability. If Israel can secure its future this way, that would be a remarkable accomplishment for all of us.
I want to go back to such an important point that we cannot lose sight of, which is 100 hostages still in Gaza, including 4 Americans still believed to be alive in Gaza. How does this huge, momentous, to use your word, development of Sinwar being killed, how do you get the hostages back now?
Well, it should lead to a redoubling of efforts. As you know, I'm close to John and Rachel Goldberg-Polin, whose son Hirsch was a hostage who was taken from a peaceful music concert. He lost his arm in the Hamas attack on a bunker where he and a group of his friends were sheltering. And it was a near miracle that he survived for months and months and months, only to be killed by Hamas terrorists moments away from his rescue by IDF soldiers. The heartbreak of his parents and the heartbreak of so many other hostage families from around the world has weighed on me and has weighed on many in Israel as there have been protest after protest. Let's take a moment, though, and reflect on what this means for the nation of Israel. In May of 2011, I'll never forget the night that I got the news that Osama bin Laden had at long last been killed by American Special Forces. Yahya Sinwar is the equivalent of Osama bin Laden, a terrorist who killed thousands of people, innocents, in a long-planned plot that struck a deep blow and for which justice had to be done. This is a moment as significant as that.
Yeah, and you used the word justice several times, and I think that is not something that we can lose sight of, and I'm glad that you brought that up, because this is a singular, horrible individual, and the connection and the comparison to bin Laden is noteworthy for American audiences. Senator, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Dana.